Thank you for making Saints Central
your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
That is ridiculous. Some of these stats, like Tyler Shough broke the single game rookie passing record. The first just a lot of firsts that I was not aware of that we see with the team. The Saints get the second victory of the season, 17-7. They kick Carolina in the teeth, and walk off the field with a victory. And Carolina, man, they got to be upset. They are upset. They got to be mad. They got to be mad. Saints came a rookie quarterback, rookie head coach in Carolina and beat them by 10, beat them by double digits in their building. They're upset. All right. So anyway, big round of applause to the family members, man. We good. So we got it, man. Let's hit these halftime stats. We'll bring in Pops Q in a minute, man, to kind of go over this stuff. But the Saints final, baby. Saints get it. We'll have the post-game, a happy post-game press conference. And y'all best to know that they're going to have about 5 or 6 people up there. That's how phony they be. They'll have about 5 or 6 people coming up there after a win. You got 2 people with a win, but watch, you going to have a treasure trove of people up there. That's why we don't do that. All this kind of stuff. You're going to see it, and we'll play it just a second. But let's hit the stats as well. That's right. Barry said, clap for victory. Great win. Yes. W's in there. Talk, boy. Talk, boy. All right, here we go. So anyway, they hit it with the finals. Y'all hit the like button for a Saints win. Also, y'all stand by in the chat, man. Listen, we're going to have the post-game press conference tuning up momentarily about with Coach Kellen Moore and the rest of the squad, man. We'll hit that up soon as we can after the statistics and the post-game breakdown. But all to it, man. Saints, congratulations on the win. Congratulations to Mighty Who Dat Nation. We hadn't had that many wins, but we were able to collect our second win. My goodness, such a tough season. But when we get the wins, they are so sweet. Saints improved to 2-8. Carolina's back to 500 at 5-5. Gets their second loss in their building. 17 first downs to 13 to Carolina. You look at the third down, Saints were, look at that, 8 of 17 on third down versus Carolina's 3 of 19. They were horrible. Saints were 2 of 3 on fourth down. Saints had 17 more plays than Carolina, 67 to 50. The total yards, Saints had almost 400 yards of offense against Carolina, 388 to 175. Total drives, 11 to 8. 6 yards per play for the Saints, 3.5 for the Panthers. 266 yards passing versus 102 by the Panthers. Ridiculous. Rushing attack, Saints piled up 122 yards versus 73 by the Carolina Panthers. 37 rush attempts, Saints 3.3 average for them. At 37 rushing attempts. You look at what Carolina did, 73 yards on 23 attempts, 3.2. Saints shut the running attack down in the second half. They were still 0 for 2, which could have led to a more drastic blowout in the red zone, but 1 or 2 was Carolina, despite the fact that Carolina had 1 penalty in the game. Saints had 6 for 60 and some cheating referee play, and the Saints still beat the Panthers and the stinking Zebras. Turnovers, Carolina 2-1 on that thing. But time of possession, Saints 33-21 versus 26-39 in their favor. The individual statistics are as follows. Tyler Shough, 19 of 27 for 282 yards. He averaged a first down on every throw. 10.4, 2 touchdowns, sacked twice, a rating of 128.9. That was an excellent display of offense by the Saints. with Tyler Shough conducting it. That's what we want to see. Kamara finished strong, 22 carries for 83 yards, averaged almost 4 yards a run. Alvin gonna have to hit the ice machine, the ice bath tonight. It was a brutal 83 yards for him in this game. Devin Neal, 4 carries for 22 yards, 5.5. We got to give Devin Neal the ball more. Taysom finished strong too. 7 scrambles for 20 yards, and he was 0.8 on, almost 3 yards on that, with a 5 being the longest. And they finished with 122 yards on 37 rush attempts for them. Chris Olave became Chris Olave of old. He had 5 catches for 5 off of 8 targets, 104 yards. He averaged 21 yards per catch and a touchdown with a 62-yard touchdown. Juwan Johnson also got in the end zone for the second straight week. 4 catches, 92 yards. He averaged 23 yards and a touchdown. So he was perfect in the game. So Juwan Johnson was perfect. You got to give him his credit when he's perfect and lambaste him when he's not. But the man did a good job. This is a $10 million tight end play. This is how $10 million tight ends play. He had 4 catches off of 4 targets for 92 yards, and he had a touchdown. 23. This is what we pay you to be. This type of tight end in this matchup. Foster Monroe had 2 catches off of 3 targets for 16 yards. Kamara was 3 for 32 in the game. Devon Valley was thrown at 3 times, was 1 of 15. We got to get him involved. Zaire Mitchell-Payton, the practice squad tight end, got an opportunity to get in. He had 1 catch for 14 yards that helped facilitate positive play up the field for the Saints offense. Of course, Cam Jordan also was able to make some plays happen as well for him in the game. As you can see, the Saints recovered fumble on that play. Demario Davis led with the tackles, 7 tackles. Kool-Aid finished with 6, so did Pete Werner. You had multiple sacks by Cam Jordan and Nate Shepard. But the Saints, even though they didn't get to Bryce Young but twice, they were moving him around and forcing him out of the pocket, making him uncomfortable. And the secondary did a great job pretty much of keeping everything in perspective. If you take a look at that offense, you can see what I mean from Bryce Young perspective. He was 17 of 25 for ineffective 124 yards. He averaged 5 yards every time he threw the ball. That's half of what Tyler Shough was doing. Half of the production, plus a pick by Alontae Taylor. He was sacked a couple times, but he was forced off his square, forced to throw passes that he overthrew guys. He just wasn't comfortable with a rating of 62.8. Rico Dowdle, who was a guy that was doing big things for him, he was held to 53 yards rushing. The Saints defense came alive, man, and held them down because teams was blasting the Saints. They were piling up 120 yards here and 120 yards there. Not so much in this game. The Saints held him to 73 yards and 1 touchdown, and Dowdle was pretty much restricted, which puts all of the pressure on Bryce Young, and he could not carry the day. Ted McMillan thrown at 8 times, 5 catches, 60 yards, no impact. Jatavion Sanders, 5 catches off of 5 targets for 32 yards, no impact. Jalen Coker, 3 catches off of 4 targets for 21 yards, no impact. No impact, no impact, no impact. Derek Brown, 9 total tackles, no sacks from him. 2 by Trayvon Wallace and Nick Scorton. They had sacks, but no impact on the Saints offense. They could have scored more if they were a little bit more aggressive, but Kellen Moore is a nice guy, and he basically kneeled down the ball. We weren't in attack dog mode, and they was just trying to wear out the clock. Early on in the fourth quarter, just trying to wear the clock out. He didn't want to run up the score on the Carolina Panthers. So it is simply what it is. The Saints get their second win of the season. They're 2-8, 1-4, their first road win of the season. Carolina falls to 5-5, 3-2 at home. I promise you, they're dejected. The Saints come into their building with a rookie quarterback, rookie head coach, struggling offensively pretty much all season long, and handled Carolina Panthers. Is this a turning moment for the Saints? Did they find something like the Pelicans found, like a gritty identity to play behind? Because that's what these times are. Tyler Shough, you cannot look beyond it. Shough was excellent in this guy. I got to give a man credit. 282 yards, fam, with Tyler Shough today. I got to give him credit, man. Like we talk about giving credit, Tyler Shough played really well in this game. He still left a few plays here or there, but this was a solid performance by the Saints offense. They did a good job of running They did a good job of playing. They weren't perfect, but they did more than enough to steal the win away from the Carolina Panthers, man. This is good. This is a building block. This is how you build. All right, so anyway, we're going to bring in Pops. Pops, welcome on to the show, man. What you thought about today's matchup?
Well, son, I think for one thing, they seem to have solved the problem with the pass rush by putting pressure on a young quarterback. You know, they played him a few times last year. I think they won both games last year as well. They really put pressure on him. I like the fact that they kind of unlocking Tyler so he can look downfield. And he was very good at throwing the ball. I mean, no turnovers that I can remember, which is a good thing for them because, you know, they had in his last few games, they've been turning the ball over. They didn't turn the ball over this time that I can remember. So they played a pretty good, steady game, and Tyler Shough was steady at quarterback. He made the right reads. You know, he had some plays that he underthrew and what have you. They're still playing a little Manila football. They need to release them. They need to, you know, open the offense up a little bit more for him. I mean, you're running three yards in a cloud of dust on several of those plays with Kamara, and those kind of plays normally get a good running back hurt. So I think they did pretty well. I'm not going to take anything from them because they got the victory. Which when I really thought that at the way they were playing, that they weren't going to get the victory, that they were going to would possibly be 1-9. But they went out and got the victory, and I'm happy for them. You know, they had a chance to celebrate a road victory, and then also won in the NFC South. So they set Carolina back a little bit, you know, and we kind of won a game that we should have won because they outplayed Carolina. You know, Carolina was struggling at the quarterback position. You know, the running game, the Saints stuffed the running game, forced Carolina to pass the ball, and the kid just couldn't do it. He couldn't come up with what he needed to do to get the Saints victory, and he threw that interception. That shut the lights out on him. So we'll see them further on down the year.
Yeah, Pops, the whole what are your thought process on what you're seeing from Tyler Shough today? Tyler Shough struggled. The first play of the game with him in there was a sack, right? But then the next plays he kind of found his ground. His eyes didn't drop. He kept upfield, made several big throws in the game. Now there's a lot to work on there, but outside of that, what did you see from him? This is a rookie quarterback in there. And he had over 280 yards, Pops, in a game that broke a franchise record for a rookie quarterback. What was your thought process on Tyler Shough? And
I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the young man. I really am. I'm impressed with him. His steadiness, and he's going to bring a steady. If he can continue to play like that, he's going to bring a steady hand to the offense. Because the offense revolves primarily around the quarterback's ability to throw the ball, you know, get rid of the ball, don't take the sacks. And he dumped, you know, he had a sack, but I mean, he's learning how to get rid of the ball to avoid the sack. And the throws he's been making for the most part have really helped the team and helped the offense move. So the kids, he's in that learning process, and he can only get better.
Yeah, it was real good seeing him in there standing tall in the pocket and deliver and make the play. But he had some help today, though, Pops. The offensive line opened up. They didn't do super well, but they did enough. Alvin had 79 yards, something like that, running. Yeah,
79 yards rushing the ball. That was the first time he even got close to 70 yards since the season started. I don't even know if he did that. Got that when the season started. So that tells me that the guy that they shipped off, he was not that good of a player. That offensive lineman they shipped off, Penning, I think his name is Penning.
Oh yeah, Penning. Yeah.
I think that kid had never recovered. He was hurt. He never recovered. They got him out of there, put a new guy in there, a fresher player, and look what the results they had today. Really, I really enjoyed watching the game. You know, that situation with the referees. I think that was complete crap. How do they want these guys to tackle these quarterbacks? How do you want them to tackle? That was a classic, good tackle, like a classic tackle. There was nothing wrong with the tackle. He didn't hit him above the head. He just got the kid down. Fool pulls out a flag and throws it on.
Yeah, I don't understand that either, Pops. I don't get the several of the calls that was made. You know, I didn't get none of that. But the Saints, credit to them, they were able to beat the Zebras and the Carolina Panthers on the road. That's one of those wins where you gain something from the win. It's not the fact that you're just happy, but the way the Saints defense played, Pops, that kind of lends us in. We talked about the offensive line, how Tyler Shough performed, but you can't give Tyler Shough all of the stuff. Look what Chris Olave did. Chris Olave became the Chris Olave that we loved. He had the 62-yard catch, which I think is the longest of the season. He had the toe tap along the sideline. That is the Chris Olave that we know so well. Talk to us about Chris Olave, how he was able to do his thing in this game to help the Saints win.
That man, he played a hell of a game. He very seldom dropped the ball. You know, that's one thing I noticed about him. He had some drops last week, but this game, I think I don't know if he dropped one or had any incompletion, but that was a thing of beauty watching that long pass. Tyler dropped it right in the bucket, and the defensive back was 5 yards trailing behind him, and he went in for the score. You know, and I'm just saying, if we can continue to get that kind of play out of him and that connection between Tyler Shough and Olave, man, we'll be winning. We'll be in lots of games the rest of the season. I mean, you know, we really something's starting to develop here. We just got to keep on watching, keep on pulling for this team. I think there may be a chance they may be starting to turn the season around. All these guys they're bringing in, trying to get these guys acclimated into the system, these new players and all this stuff. Well, it looked like it's happened. Something happened. You know, and they really played definitely played a fine game today. I really enjoyed watching the game.
Yeah, you're right, Pops. I thought like the offense did more than enough, and they still left plays on the field. They're gonna look at the tape, but 280 yards from your quarterback that's where you lean into. That's what you need to get. So you're gonna need help. Yes. From Chris Olave. Got to give a shout out to Juwan Johnson. We've been real tough on Juwan Johnson, but he was thrown at 4 times. He caught all four of them, and he had a touchdown. So we got to be fair. Juwan Johnson played like a $10 million tight end today, Pops. He was even blocking well. He did a good job there. He caught all 4 of his passes, and he scored. Yeah. You know, he had a catch where he made the catch, had yak after the catch, and got in the end zone. There was plays when he caught the ball and powered through on different ones. So he really I'm hard on Juwan Johnson, but I have to get a man his credit. This game, he stepped up. What's your thoughts on him?
Well, I'll tell you what, he's starting to play like, I mean, you got to realize this is a big guy. This guy should be able to power his way. He should be able to catch this ball and should be able to run through the end zone and run through tackles. He's a huge guy, you know. And he's the kind of tight end. He just every now and then. I think he's learning and getting acclimated with one quarterback or the other. He's got to learn how to learn their quarterback's tendencies, and so he was really connected with Tyler, and Tyler put the ball where he could do. He got to catch it. He put it right in his hands, and that's what I like about what Tyler did today. There were very few, disputed catches and grabs because he put the ball right where the wide receiver can get it. Like on that long pass, he hit Olave in stride. He didn't have to wait for the ball to come. He hit him in stride, and that's how you're supposed to hit a young wide receiver or whoever you're throwing the ball to. Hit him in stride so he don't have to. So the defensive back cannot make a play on him or the ball. And I think he had Juwan had a good game today. You know, I don't know how long that's going to continue, but he did all right today.
Yeah,
he was all right today.
Yeah, we got to put that.
We got the win.
Right, he did all right today, Pops. We got to give him a disclaimer today. He did good because today, he did good today. But let's kind of go over to the defensive side, Pops. The defense was brilliant. The first play of the game where they marched the length of the field was the only positive drive the entire game. After that, the Saints systematically took everything away that Carolina did successfully. That led to 4 straight punts, and then it ran out to halftime, and then it continued. Kind of talk to us about that. Despite the referee's attempts to help Carolina stay in the game, the defense for the Saints forced turnovers, had sacks, stopped them from running the ball. Rico Dowdle, one of the top rushers in the game, held to less than 60 rushing yards today. Saints really just neutered the team. Here's Kellen Moore. We'll get you to finish that after more. Here we go.
Our team playing together, having a ton of joy as they went through it, and I thought the physicality was a positive. We knew that was going to be a physical game with the way those guys play. They're a really good team. They've had a ton of success the last few weeks, and so we knew it was going to be a battle.
They went right down the field the first time they got the ball. What changed from their side, and what did you do?
Yeah. Obviously, we had some missed ops, on that first drive. It was unfortunate, but I thought our guys just hung in there. Kept battling. Tightened up things a little bit more, and so I felt like after that it was pretty good.
Do you feel like this is the best game your team has played this year?
I think in all 3 phases, just playing complementary football. And, we know there's missed ops out there. There's opportunities that we want to grow in and we got to talk about and get better because of. But I just felt like all 3 phases were really playing well together and collectively.
What did you make of Tyler?
Yeah, I thought Tyler took an awesome step today. I thought he made some big-time plays, some off-schedule plays, the 2 to Juwan off-schedule, moving within the pocket. I thought he hung in that pocket really, really well, delivered. Can't say enough, big things about, CO, Juwan, these perimeter guys, the plays that they make.
A blocked field goal could have been a real change in momentum. How well were you playing?
By the way, this is the Saints sound. Their sound is bad on the site.
Yeah, I thought the beauty of that was, the rule's the rule. The ball went past the line of scrimmage, we touched it. Hey, it's their ball. I understand that rule. And, something we talked about a lot in the heat of the moment. You see a football, your natural reaction is to recover the thing. And so we get to educate ourselves because of that. But I thought the way our guys respond was just phenomenal. Respond there to create a turnover right after that.
Can you take us through the touchdown to Juwan? Just before that moment, why you called that specific play? What was kind of the progression? What Tyler saw?
Yeah, really good play. I think that's the backside route. You're playing a high-low game on the front side. He worked through his progression, stepped up in the pocket, and really found Juwan on the backside of the original play. And so I thought it was just a really good example of Tyler's ability to move, keep his eyes downfield, and make a play.
That being a big moment in the game, do you say anything to Tyler beforehand, or is it just play call comes in, execute?
Play call, let him play. He's playing really good.
Yes, his composure in those 3rd and medium, 3rd and long situations, is that kind of a game changer for the offensive way? It seemed like a lot of the big plays came.
Definitely was a really good, some really good moments there because of that. I thought, again, playing in the pocket, stepping up, finding the guys downfield. I thought there were some big-time opportunities there, and 3rd downs are hard downs. And so, for us to come away with some really successful plays on that, I thought credit to those guys who are out there making the plays.
Was Chris's speed and verticality, does that help offset you guys trading Rashid? Did he run some of the routes that he would run today?
It's a good question. I think, CO can attack every element of this field. And so, we're going to be able to utilize it. He obviously made a phenomenal play downfield a couple times. A few of the other guys got in there and played some roles, maybe not as many targets to those guys, but those guys were out there playing and they did an awesome job executing. And so we feel like this group is going to grow together and progress.
What was the hottest running back in the NFL the last 5 weeks? What were y'all able to do to slow him down?
Yeah, team football on defense, assignment sound, gap sound, tackled really well. He still missed, we missed some tackles. He broke some tackles there, but I thought, we just did such a good job of not giving up those big, explosive, long runs as we went.
Do you think this game meant something more to Chris, just considering what happened in the stadium with the concussion a year ago?
I think that's fair to, ask CO. Obviously, his experiences, he's had to navigate that through this entire journey. And so, obviously you can anticipate that's something that's going to weigh on your mind a little bit. It's natural. But the way he played today, that was just incredible. Incredible plays, phenomenal. The energy, the juice that he brought to our team. I thought it was a really special performance.
You mentioned the awesome step for Tyler. What do you look for now from this from him, and where do you kind of want to see his development growth in here?
Yeah, we're just going to keep growing. Every game, there's going to be 5 plays that we're going to say, we're going to want to improve on those. There are going to be some plays that we can lean our hat on and continue to reinforce, and we just got to keep growing.
Also, that 8-minute drive to end the game.
Yeah.
How important was that to, seal this one off?
Yeah, that was such a cool drive. Just a really, really cool drive. Physicality, offensive line, battling. It's really Taysom and the running backs, and they just went for it. And so really cool drive for those guys. Really an identity type drive where you can lean on, when you talk about being a physical football team and grinding games out like this. It's a really good example of it. Yeah, traditionally, normally we would prefer to defer. We're trying to get a little bit of a spark the last 2 weeks. It, obviously it didn't get the result that we had hoped, and so we'll decide each week how we want to best suit this, and made that decision before the game.
When you're choosing which side to defend, do you figure that out beforehand? Like, how do you decide?
Which direction you're kicking and all that stuff?
Yeah, well, because you defer, so you get to choose.
Yeah. Usually that's in communication with special teams, and then just talking about field conditions and stuff. So sometimes there's wind that factors into that.
What do you make of the first half sequence near the end there, where you guys
Yeah. Obviously, trying to have the last possession of the drive, the last relevant possession of the quarter, and so I got to look at it, to see if we, ultimately weren't able to get the points that you want, and so I got to look at, seeing where can we improve there, execution-wise, schematically, get ourselves in position. Maybe, I'll look at how those timeouts progress and where we can potentially improve there.
You've hit on it before, but I wanted to ask it again. Like, when Tyler converts those third downs like that, what does that tell you about him?
Yeah, he's executing and playing really good football. Those are not easy downs. Again, we talked about there's hard downs in this league, and teams that can execute in those downs and make plays, they're the ones that are the most successful teams. And so, obviously credit to our guys who went out there and made those plays. The protection, Tyler, the perimeter guys, some guys stepped up.
You now have a bye week next week. How can you use this win to kind of use that momentum going into the final stretch?
Yeah, obviously, you won't play for 13 days now, and so to have a win, as your last moment, I think can carry some momentum, carry some energy. Our guys got to recharge during a bye week. We got to use it to our advantage and put ourselves in position to kind of attack this back end of the season. And so, I'm excited for our guys to be able to utilize that and get ready to go.
What was working about the run game? Was it that physicality?
Yeah, I thought physicality. I thought Alvin, credit to him. Some really just physical, dirty runs where he was able to finish really well, and so. I thought there was some progress there, and we just got to keep growing in that area.
And the other day talking about the 1-8 start is what it is, but it feels like things are still being done the right way. The energy, the building, and the locker room is still good. Is winning a game just help you kind of reinforce that? Because obviously we can say that, but the wins aren't coming.
No doubt. Ultimately, we're here to win football games, and we want to win football games collectively. And so it takes the entire group. I give a ton of credit to our guys, the way they've battled the last few weeks, to come up short a number of games in a row and to come back, recharge, ready to go each Wednesday, ready to put in a new plan and just go about the week every single week the same way. And, so I think, it's credit to our guys. We have the right kind of guys in the building to keep growing and keep developing and keep getting better as a team.
What do you see on the Delonte interception?
Yeah, I didn't get a great angle of it, so obviously big-time play. Just credit to him. Just being in place and having vision on the ball, obviously big-time play.
Was there anything you guys were able to do to Bryce Young's guys were that high?
Yeah, I thought, a combination of rush and coverage. When those things tie together and they play complementary, and our defense is able to play, with a little bit of a lead and a little bit of that momentum, and now you can feel like, hey, I can come after this quarterback, I can rush the passer. The DBs can play with a little bit more vision and play in some favorable situations. I think all that stuff adds up to favorable situations for us to go for it.
I know that you guys you had a few turnovers, but to be able to kind of impose like that when you don't have 5 turnovers, what does that say about your defense there, that you're able to do that without the amount of volume that you have previously here for someone?
Just with them creating turnovers?
Yeah, well, just what your defense was showing even in the moments that they didn't.
Yeah, I thought our guys, the play style was really good. The physicality, the effort, the finish, to create a couple turnovers was obviously game-changing for us. And I thought our guys kept attacking the football. There's more opportunities out there that we're going to look at and say, hey, we're really close here. How can we keep getting better and keep taking advantage of these opportunities? All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, that's Kellen Moore, man, breaking it down. Pops, you was talking about the defensive line contributions. I don't want you to lose your train of thought, but also thoughts along with what you heard from Kellen Moore. Check your mic, Pops. Nah, I can't hear you, Pops. Just you try to work on it. That's Alante Taylor. Just work on it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You go, Alante.
I think we were just putting our eyes in the right place, doing our job, and just making sure our technique was right. I think DeMar did a really good job with just bringing everybody in after almost every series and just making sure we just did our assignments. And I think we did that, and I think it showed up.
Is that kind of what led to your interception? Did you stay to that play?
Yeah, I mean, we do the call all week. Coach kind of tweaked a few ways that I could kind of disguise the play, and I think I kind of made a little bold move with myself going like super close to the line of scrimmage, but I knew what my job was, and I just trusted everybody around me, and I just, like I said, knew my assignment, knew my alignment, and just made sure my technique was good.
Does Brandon or your position coach say anything to you after that? Or
Great play. Great play.
They went right down the field the first possession and didn't score again. What changed for you, and what did you see out of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you go week in and week out. Everybody has like the first 15 plays, right? So they're going to throw things at us that we haven't seen on film, things that they kind of practice throughout the week. I think you go back to the Rams game, right? They kind of did the same thing. Second series, 3 and out. We made sure the second series when we had the 3 and out that, we kind of stayed true to ourselves. We didn't go haywire. Nobody was doing what they wanted to do. We just stayed true to the game plan. And I think that's what like I said, that's what we did, man. The first series, they kind of threw some twists and turns in there a little bit, and we kind of settled down and stayed true to ourselves.
That's a sign of growth for you guys that it didn't snowball?
I wouldn't say a sign of growth, man. I feel like last week was just one of those rough weeks. I think you have those in the NFL, right? I think we played pretty solid defense all around, hiccups here and there. So I think we always knew that we could do that and we could be that type of defense. I think we just showed it today.
There was a report today that you're almost picked to the Bears, and I had conversations with you. There was a report a few days ago that it was making the Colts. What was trade deadline like for you, and get past that and have a day like you did today?
Yeah, I knew it was possible. My agent communicated with me, and I just communicated that with my family, and just stay by my phone just in case the call happened. And if it didn't, I was perfectly fine with that. And like I said before, like I told you, I enjoy this group, I enjoy this team, and I know we're in a rough patch right now, but I love going to work with these guys. So glad to be here. Super excited to finish out this season.
Was it rewarding to, even with that uncertainty, to have a day like you did today?
I mean, man, I just want to go play good ball every week, regardless what talks are happening before, what talks are happening after. And I think just going out there with this group of guys, like I said, bro, it was so fun today. We had a lot of fun. We was laughing and kikiing on the sideline. We was getting our corrections when we needed them. But I feel like we was on top, and we made sure that we stayed on top the whole game.
Can you walk us through Warner's fumble recovery and kind of your role on that play, making sure that Saints got the ball and not the...
Yeah. So, with the motion rules and things like that, I knew I had to stay tight to the line of scrimmage on the motion, and I didn't even know that they were handing the ball off. I just knew that that's who my guy was. But as soon as I seen the ball hit the ground, I trusted that everybody was running to the ball, and I just didn't want him to get the ball. So I just hit him. And when I looked back, I seen at least 2 or 3 white jerseys jumping on the ball. So super excited, and I just, like I said, everybody was doing their job, running out the stack, running to the ball. And when you do that, good things happen.
Was there a moment on Tuesday where you thought you were headed elsewhere?
There was a point in time, but like I said, my agent communicated to me through and through from the start of it, really all the way to the end, and I trusted him, and he was kind of keeping me calm, cool, and collective throughout it all. So I'm fine.
Disclose what team that was?
Nah, I'm good.
How did this win just feel emotionally? You just were talking about how much fun everyone was having, and I know the seasons are long when there's a lot of losses. So what did it feel like?
It felt really good. We needed it. I don't care if we're 2-8 now. Nobody can tell us, oh, you're just 2-8 now. It doesn't matter. Win is a win. I think if we lose this game, everybody's talking negative about us, right? And we needed this win, and going into the bye week, good momentum. Everybody can heal up if they're bruised or hurting, and we can come back and play a good Atlanta team at home. So great way to go into the bye week. We're going to enjoy this one.
That's something that Cam was saying too the other day with relatively high. What does like that do for a game like this in terms of like, do you think it has any effect on the vibes are high, so it leads to this result?
Man, I think staying true to one another, playing ball, and going into the room week in and week out, no matter what the record is. And I mean, we got to play football every Sunday, right? Until you have a bye week, you got a game every Sunday, and so your best bet is to go out there, work hard every week, and get the game plan, and go get the dub. I mean, you can't win one game and all of a sudden be 10 and something, right? You got to take it one game at a time, and I think that's what we did. Kept our heads down, and like I said, great win for us going into the bye. We'll come back, have a good preparation, and play a good team at home, another division game.
And what did the offense being on the field for as long as they did do for you guys as a defense? What do you make of Tyler?
Man, great. I mean, I was just telling Taysom, hey, bro, appreciate you getting those first downs on those third and mediums because they changed the game a lot, right? It keeps the defense off the field. And, Tyler, like I said, I was telling some of the guys, I love how, he's scrambling and he's always finding somebody down the field. Love the receivers continue finding their ways to get open. Running backs running the ball hard. I think we just played all around complimentary football today. Super excited, like I said before, where this thing can go. Cool. Yeah, thank you.
You have Chris Olave?
All right. I think they're going to keep it going right here. But Chris Olave is supposed to be the next man. There he is.
There was some talk of a year ago this time. Game didn't work out so well for you. Did you think of that? Was it feel bittersweet to come back and have a good game like you did?
Yeah, it was a tough time. I had a great week of practice. I didn't really think about it too much, but when I came into the stadium, I just felt it all again. I had a lot of anxiety pregame. It's a lot of stuff going on. My close people knew what was going on, so they just stuck by my side, and I appreciate them for all that.
How did you manage that anxiety?
Just talking to my peoples. Like I said, my close people on the team, my coach Doug, B. Cooks, AK, they all helped me out. My pops was here too, so I went over and talked to him pregame and tried to loosen my mind up.
Was it any anxiety over being hurt again, or just being back in that, like reliving that?
Like I said, I had a great week of practice. I didn't think about it too much, but like as soon as I stepped on the field, I just felt it all over again. And it was a tough situation from last year. They ended my season, so just coming back here, first time playing here again. I'm glad I had the performance I had, but I couldn't do it out with my teammates and my coaches and everybody around me.
And the other side of that, like how did it feel to get that touchdown and kind of, maybe put some of that, in the past?
Yeah. It felt good, especially I feel like we needed a play. We needed some momentum. We drove the ball down on that first drive. We kind of missed on that third down in the red zone, but I feel like we needed some momentum, and we took the lead on that play. So it was a huge play, and Tyler threw a great ball, staying in the pocket, and like I said, it was a great play.
When you jumped in the stands, were the people behind you booing you?
Oh yeah, they talking. Yeah, they talking crazy over there. It was. I heard them in my ear, but I didn't really look at them. But yeah, they was booing me over there. I ain't gonna lie.
To be able to wrestle it from 61-2, just kind of take us through that physicality and how you were able to.
Yeah. We had I think it was third down. Was it third down? Yeah, it was third down, and we had a dope move on. He kind of fooled me pre-snap. I thought he was in cover 2, and then I kind of went outside, tried to outside release, and it was man at the end of the day. That's what we wanted, but kind of got tight to the sideline, so I had to kind of battle him to catch the ball, and he had failed, so I knew it was a touchdown after that.
With Rashid being gone, I know you have speed too, but like he was obviously like the
deep threat.
Does that allow you, with him being gone, does that allow you to step more into that and demonstrate your speed? Like, his absence in any way affect the way that you were used to it?
Nah, I mean, first off, it was tough for me, man. Seeing she get traded. Been here. He been here since I've been here, so it was real tough on me all week. I was kind of down about it. We've been through the fire together. I mean, not the ideal situation, but we stuck by each other. We kept trying to rally each other every week, especially this year. But I'm proud of him and the opportunity he has going over there. I'm going to go watch him right after this. So, but to answer your question, I feel like we was both being used as that, especially this year. We had speed on both sides. He a route runner too. At the end of the day, he's not just a deep threat, but that's generational speed right there. So I feel like being used as a deep threat was great for the team.
About your the one-handed catch near the end there.
Like I said, man, it's just being in those situations, having them trust me in those situations, especially on third down to try to ice the game. I appreciate them putting me in that position. I had some early drops early in the year. I feel like that's what they expect out of me, and I expect out of myself. So we got to keep it going and keep building on this.
Did the anxiety go away once you started playing, or was there any part of the game where you started to feel better?
Yeah, for sure. I just need to get a couple plays, get comfortable back out there. That's what me and AK was talking about. Just try to just that first drive, just get out there, take a couple hits, or just get acclimated into the game. I feel like that released everything. So just that helped me a lot.
And your dad being here, what was that mean?
Yeah, it mean a lot, man. Shout out my pops. I was in a tough situation around this point last year. God was always there, and he was right there with God. So I appreciate him for everything. It meant a lot to me. Just the action he showed through that process. I was going through a lot. So, and him being at every game, all the away games, all the home games, it means a lot to me, man. He was out there solo in the stands by himself. I had to go talk to him pregame to loosen up my mind, and it helped me a lot.
What did Tyler what did you make of him today? And specifically does his arm open up the offense at all? Or?
Yeah, he's a hell of a player. Me and him talk a lot, and that scramble drill helped us a lot, especially on that first drive, that D1 of Jawan. Helped us a lot, but we've been seeing that all year. He's been running the scout team really good. I've been watching him closely, try to see what type of quarterback he is. He excels in the scramble drill, so he had a lot of plays like that today. And just him sitting back there, taking those hits, they got a really good defense. So sending him all those blitzes, he got sacked a couple of times, but he still stayed in there and delivered us some good balls.
Could you expand on that last point? Like, when a team drafts a quarterback like that, or comes in, like, are you curious to find out what you have? And even like a stretch like this, like, are you still kind of wondering how he's going to perform or anything?
Not really, man. It's a game. A lot of expectations, a lot of outside things, a lot of things like that. But we just got to focus on our journey at the end of the day. He knows what he could do. We all know what he can do. And he's a great player. So we expect him to do all that. And he expects that from himself. So, like I said, it's what we've been seeing all year. Like I said, he ran the scout team really good. And he got his opportunity. He's taking advantage of it.
Alante was saying just how much fun this game felt, and how the defense was just having fun again. And I know that can be hard, in a season like this. For you and the offense, how did it feel playing in this type of game with the lead versus, some of the other games?
Always being down.
Yeah.
It felt good. The defense showed up really good today. We knew they was going to try to run the ball on offense, so they did a really good job stopping the run. And it was tough for them to get their offense going. So I feel like we could have took advantage of a lot of more opportunities. But like I said, getting the win was great. And like I said, the defense stepped up really good today, and I feel like they carried us today.
Chris.
Appreciate you.
Here's Tyler.
All right. That seemed like to be all of them, Pops.
Yeah.
On all of them. Very positive, man. You heard from Chris Olave and, here go Tyler. We're not done. Here go Tyler, man of the hour, man.
Okay.
How does your first one as a starter feel?
It's just a great feeling. I think my favorite moment is just seeing everybody in the locker room, dapping everybody up, and just kind of the work that everyone's kind of put into this point. And but just a great team win. I think CO hit it, and the defense, special teams, everybody had an impact on the game, and it was just a great feeling.
Can you take us through the touchdown to Juwan there at the end? When you hear the play call, what's kind of going through your mind?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was the last guy the ball was supposed to go to on that play. We're really trying to work the field side there on a kind of high low with a dig and a shallow, and he slipped out on a scramble drill, and it was just a really good play by him finishing it off. So I thought the O-line played really well all day. They're a really good front, and we were kind of down with some injuries, so some of those guys really stepped up. Just Awesome and Dylan, and so I was really proud of them.
So in terms of what was working with the scramble drill today, because a few of them, it seemed like.
Yeah, I think the guys we put a point of emphasis on it in practice, and I think, guys were just doing a really good job of getting open. And I think there's a lot, a bunch more times where I could have found them, left some stuff on the field there. So we'll kind of clean that up, and, I'll be better.
Sticking with the Juwan theme a little bit, how was the 52-yarder initially supposed to go?
Man, that was earlier on in the game. Once again, I think it was, we were trying to get it to him a little bit, and it just kind of happened that way. And he just, like I said, he was just familiar. I think just having that chemistry with him, he did a really good job of extending it.
Was there any point during that play when you were scrambling around that you thought about just running it yourself, or you saw where he was, or were you always just I know where Juwan will be, so I'm just get it to him?
I think at that point you're trying to get yards with your legs, and if you're always trying to make a play down the field with your arm, and then if you can't get it, then you're going to go run for it. So there's kind of a little bit of both to it, and he just kind of flashed, and he did a really good job.
The Juwan play, the touchdown too, that's a big moment on the game from the outside in terms of it's third down, and if you guys get it, you're in good shape. And the touchdown obviously was stealing things. So did you feel any of that in the moment, or did you kind of just focus, did the play call and kind of focus on it? How did you kind of process that?
No, we knew going into the drive that we had to be super focused on our details. We had to finish the drive. We had to get points on the board, and whatever that looks like. But I was just focused on that play. It just kind of happened that way, and obviously it was a great finish and great stamp to it. But at the end of the day, what I've been preaching is just do your job and focus on those little things, because then that's how those big plays come. It's nothing more than it was that just we kind of happened in practice. I don't think he's ever gotten the ball up to that point on that play, and it was a really good job by him.
Were there any areas in last week's game that you felt noticeable improvements for this one, that you felt you either read something better or processed it faster or anything?
I think it's just continual reps, continual progression, getting better every single day, and like I said, I think I can continue to get better and be better. So I think we did a really good job running the ball. There was a big emphasis on that to kind of continue to set that up, and I was just really proud of the offense and the whole team. I think just having some urgency, each week, having a little bit of juice, a little bit of swagger, kind of showed up.
Chris on his touchdown said that it was he thought initially that they were in cover two, but it turned to man. Did you read that the same way? Did you think they were in cover two first, or did you just kind of figure through that play when you saw there?
Yeah, I saw him spin down late, so I knew I had an opportunity. I was thinking it was probably going to be Shell, and but I trusted him he was going to go win, especially with him down the field. He's such a dynamic player, so he did a really good job just kind of fighting through the contact and making a play and finishing it.
He said that he was having some anxiety before the game, just given what happened here last year with the season-ending concussion. Did you tell that from him? Did you say anything to him? How did you kind of process that?
We were going about just the game plan, just the details. I think whenever you can kind of focus on your task at hand, I think we all have, there's no telling what people are going through off the field and battling injuries, all that stuff. And I think whenever you can kind of come together and just have fun, it makes it super easy. But super proud of him. Just kind of, I know it wasn't easy for sure, but we were just talking the whole time, texting each other last night about what we're going to do and all that stuff. So I was really happy for him. And obviously he had a great day.
You may have answered this already, but just as being your first game as a starting quarterback in the NFL, how does it feel? How good does it feel?
Yeah, what I said to Catherine was just, it was a great feeling in the locker room. I think with everybody just kind of dancing, you're having fun in there, but it just kind of came down to just playing complimentary football, and we played together. I think those great things happened, and especially against a good team. But for me, it's just been so fun, just kind of learning every single day, each week, kind of the formula for success. And obviously, we got to keep competing and keep repeating that.
To that point of learning, so many conversions today were on third and long. I believe this was a touchdown on third and long. From watching and even from playing last week, how much more comfortable have you got with navigating the pocket and keeping guys downfield and things of that nature?
Exactly what you said. I think navigating the pocket, keeping your eyes downfield, and trying to dish it out. There's certain feel element between when you run, scramble, hit the check down, but continual progression. I got to continue to be better at it. It's gonna that's my job. I got to continue to do that. So I was really proud of those guys, the O-line, I think the pocket, and I think just our communication. We can continue to be better with it. yeah, I mean, I think it was a good step, and we got a lot more to go.
What do you make of the physicality the run game had today?
Yeah, I mean, that was big time. I think just Alvin, his explosiveness, the O line, their physicality against that front was unbelievable. Especially just to come in there, like I said, banged up, maybe not a lot of reps. So they're just super happy for them, and I think all those guys, Devin, everybody, Taysom finishing at the end with the 4-minute drive, that wasn't easy. So they did a really good job.
There have been a lot of quarterbacks here, obviously, that come off the field on third down or in the red zone for Taysom. But I'm just wondering, since you're kind of going through it for the first time, how you process that? Is it a weird feeling for you? Like, how do you go about that?
No, I mean, I think he does a really good job presenting. Just you got to think. And I think I can do the same. With my legs, but he's a strong runner, man. He's freaking tough, and but no, I think it's part of it. I mean, whatever we can do to get the first down and score, that's awesome. So I mean, I'm super happy for him, and obviously the element that he's added for us.
And did it mean anything to you that it's 3rd and 12 with the Juwan play that they called the passing play there, try and go for it rather than just hand it off, or does that show any trust in you as a quarterback?
Yeah, I think it just. Kellen knew the importance of just finishing that drive and converting there. And we're always, I mean, my mindset, I'm always going to be aggressive and always going to try and go for it. That's kind of Kellen's motto is go for it. So it was just obviously a great play by him, just, staying friendly and finishing it.
That touchdown came on the heels of, I believe it was the interception, maybe it was a fumble recovery. The point being, this team played a lot of complimentary football and how important was that?
It was huge. I think the defense was just kind of the lifeline of today of just, creating that juice. Earlier on, I think, we did some good things, but just we had to finish in some of those moments. And the defense, they did a heck of a job of, they provided the juice. They're getting stops all over the field. Those turnovers were big. And I think, the great thing about, our offense, we were able to capitalize on some of that. And, we got to continue to do that. We got to continue to play complementary football.
Apologize for asking about this, but Juwan was saying Alvin kind of searching for really finish. How satisfying was it to get 6 minutes in the clock and to run it all out?
Yeah, I mean it's the best feeling in the world from an offensive perspective. Whenever you've put enough points on it, and now you're trying to run the ball, and then you get a great 4-minute drive, and you finish that out, and you get to take a knee. There's not a better feeling from just a confidence standpoint from the O line, the running backs, all those guys. That's when you can kind of impose your will, and we got to continue to find ways to put points on the board and not leave so many plays out there. But I was just so happy with how we finished that.
And that touchdown to Juwan at 30 yards. Where was he in the progression?
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to get the ball really. He was just kind of clearing it out, maybe a backside alert, if he got it, but he just did a good job in the scramble phase, slipping them and making the catch. So, it's stuff like that happens. You got to make a play, and more often than not, especially in the red zone, is when those good things happen. Is on the scramble drill.
At what point do you see him as you're running around there? You notice him?
Yeah.
The guy, or how does that?
I was just kind of afterwards, whenever I stepped and moved left. Yeah, I saw him shake him, but obviously wasn't looking at him prior to that.
How going into the bye week? How do you carry that moment?
I think it's just having a sense of urgency when we got practice and we're in our preparation, and kind of continuing, the emphasis on everything that we've done to this point. Just learning from our mistakes, and then just not letting up. There's a lot of ball to be played, and I think we got a lot ahead of us.
First, thanks for the quarterback game since 1981. Does that mean something to you?
I think it was Archie, right? It was Dave. You guys are on it, man. That's pretty sweet. I mean, it's a great honor just because of this organization, and obviously Archie's one of my just closest friends that I've been able to kind of resources, and somebody that mentors that I looked up to, and so that's obviously a great feeling. But at the end of the day, I think there's, like I said before, we got a lot more to go in the tank, and it's a good step. I think we can continue to progress. Thank you.
All right, Tyler Shough, and we're going to think that'll probably be the last of them right there. Tyler talks about the game, man, and to be honest with you, Pops, in this one, man, the Saints shocked the Carolina Panthers 17-7 with a victory. Tyler Shough put in a lot of offense production. The Saints offense woke up, scored a couple of touchdowns to seal the day. The defense kicked in, shut Carolina down, didn't allow them to rush, flustered the quarterback, gave him confusing looks, and come up with the W.
Yeah.
Is this something that the team, as a team, how they played today, and not to take nothing away from it, they beat them in their building, and Carolina was actually playing pretty decently in their hometown, in their stadium, and we went down there and did that. So is this something that the team could build on going forward? What do you think?
Yeah, sure. I think they played a very good, steady game. I think this may be the start of something. You know, they'll be playing the Atlanta Falcons when they come back off the bye week. And they should be ready to deal with the Falcons. Well, probably going to be mad because they lost their matchup today in overtime against the Indianapolis Colts. They lost that game. And their defense didn't stop the run very well at all. I think his name was John Taylor, a little runner for the Colts, ran for over 200 some yards against Atlanta. So they didn't play well at all. Penix was off on his game. They put points up and Bijan and the regular the runners that run for Atlanta, they ran the ball well. But they still lost the game in overtime. They got it to overtime, and they lost the game in overtime. I think this is the start of something. It's going to be a tough game for us when we get ready to play Atlanta. And I think we're playing them in the Superdome, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be a tough game for us. But I think with what if Tyler can apply what he did today, I think they have a shot. They have a shot. They play well. They always play well against Atlanta. They should be able to possibly. I'd say they could probably eke out a win and go for their third consecutive victory because of the way they played today. If they can get heat on Penix, Penix looked he looked real unsteady back there today when they were playing the Colts. I think if we can get the same pressure on him, we might have a chance to beat Atlanta, here in the Dome and make, get our second division win in. It's not going to be easy. I mean, we'll be coming off a bye, so Atlanta will still be playing, if I'm not mistaken, on our division on the bye. I'm trying to remember how that works. But anyway, we're on a bye next week, so we'll be facing those Dirty Birds.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, and I don't want to jump too far ahead, but if the Saints beat the Falcons next week, they switch spots with them. So they're 3-6. Pops. The Saints are 2-8.
Yeah.
Well. Let me see what their record is because they lost today. I think they're 3-6. I don't think. Well, hold on.
They're 3-6.
They're 3-6.
Yeah.
So let's see if we win. If we get our third win on them, so that'll make us. We'll be 3-8. They'll be 3-7.
Right.
I think it is. So yeah,
right. They'll be 3-7. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do what we got to do to get that W. We can't allow them. Yeah, and you're right, Pops. The game is here. Let me go ahead on and kind of share some of those stats with some of the family members, just in case for that happened during the broadcast today. The Cardinals right now are trailing to the Seahawks 21-0. Rashid Shaheed with his new club, man, and they're smacking down the Cardinals at the end of they started the second and they're up by 21 on the Cardinals. So they on their way to a win. The Rams up top the 49ers right now in the middle of the first 7-0. The Lions and the Commanders are battling 7-3. Lions way at the middle way portion of the first half. Tonight, later on, the Steelers and Chargers, a good matchup right there. Happens as Penning will get an opportunity to get with his new team. The Falcons, you can see the overtime loss right there. Pops talked about. They beat them 31-25 in overtime, and Jonathan Taylor had 244 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Atlanta's, they're calling for the firing of what's his name, Pops? What's the coach, the brother they got over there? Y'all remind me, I forgot the name of the man name. The head coach of the Falcons, man. They calling for his firing.
I know who you're talking about. I'm like you, I can't remember his name. But wasn't he a former coach? He was with the Buccaneers at one point.
That's right. Is it Rashid something?
Raheem Morris?
Raheem Morris. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, Pops. Raheem Morris.
Yeah.
The Falcons are calling for his firing. So the Bears, they got to win today. The Bears is really doing some stuff to beat the Giants 24-20. The Bills fell to the Dolphins 30-13. That was a surpriser right there.
Yeah.
Ravens have won 3 in a row. The Ravens beat the Vikings 27-19. They're now 1 game under 500. You know, they've won 3 games in a row. That's crazy work. But when you're good, you're good. The Browns fell out on their face again. This time to the Jets. It was the best of the worst. Jets get their second victory as they beat the Browns 27-20. The Patriots stopped the Buccaneers 28-23. The Patriots are now 8-2, playing really well for the Patriots, man. Saints, of course, they battled the Cats, knocked them off 17-7. Texans get the victory over the Jags in a really good game. The Texans scored 26 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to top the Jags 36-29. They improved to 4-5. The Jags fall to 5-4. And of course, we know about the Thursday matchup with Coach Payton and beating the Raiders 10-7. He's also 8-2. So we starting to see things kind of developed here in the NFL. And of course, the teams that were on bye Monday night games, the Eagles and Packers. The bye week teams are the Bengals, Cowboys, Titans, and the Chiefs. So that's what we got going on right now. But yes, indeed, Pops, this is some of the things that we talk about, man. It's really fascinating. But based on some of the conversation, Pops, that you heard, I'll be interested to see if the Saints can continue this trend going forward. Behind them, I think Kellen Moore definitely needs to open up his playbook and allow Tyler Shough, this offense, to develop into what Tyler Shough's gifts are, which he has the ability to throw the ball down the field. You know, some kind of way find more acclimation for Devon Velley. Find a way to get Mason Tipton involved. Brandon Cooks is a non-factor. He's a non-sequitur. You have the tight ends, which our tight ends played really well. It's good to see that they started and put that new tight end there, Mitchell Payton, in who they picked up off the Ravens. I think they added him to the active roster from the Ravens practice squad as a tight end. He made a catch in the game, and they deactivated Stahl. Stahl was terrible. I was saying it for weeks that Stahl is terrible. He misses blocks. Even when he's in there he missing blocks. If he's not going to block, then you don't even have him in there, so they deactivated him. So it was a lot of positive stuff going on, but can they get this to become a part of the temperament moving forward? But Kellen Moore needs to open up his playbook. He needs to get smarter on these play calls that we've seen, and we got to continue to work to improve the offensive line. They did a better job blocking today. We need to see if we can carry it forward.
Yes, they did.
So what's your thoughts on that? And also these interviews you just heard from Kellen Moore, Chris Olave, and all these guys. Pops, what's your thoughts on that?
A little positivity. I like that. I think the fact that the plays, they executed very well today, and they were able to basically shut Carolina down after their first offensive set. They got shut down. The Saints shut them down, shut their running game down, almost shut their passing game down, kept them out the end zone for the rest of the day. That was pretty impressive, you know. So if they can continue this streak and the offense continue to score points and play with precision and play with consistency, yeah, they can start making they'll be winning some games. They'll win some more games, you know. They'll win some more games. I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to play. I know that they got the bye this week, so I'll give them a chance to heal some bumps and bruises, you know, and then they face the Birds when they come back. And I think they play them here. So they'll be facing the Birds when they come back off the bye next week. They'll be facing the Birds. And I think we have a shot at the Birds. I think we have a shot at them. And we could see the biggest thing about Atlanta is their running game. And they got those two big guys. They got Bijan, and they got a couple of other good runners. And if we could shut down their running game like we shut down Carolina's or limited, I think we have a shot at beating them. You know, I think we do have a shot at beating Atlanta if we can play consistently without the holding penalties and turning the ball over and stuff like that. I don't think we had a turnover at all. Am I correct, son? We didn't have a single turnover this game, did we?
No, you didn't. Well, yes, you did. You had the fumble. I want to say we had the fumble. Let me pull up my stats again. I wanted to say we did have a fumble that occurred, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look it up again. I took my stat screen off here. But yeah, you're right, Pops. We do. The Saints have a bye week this upcoming week.
Right.
And Carolina and Carolina and Atlanta will play each other. So that probably will be the game that we kind of watch in our off week. A scout game. Panthers, we just beat Carolina, and the Falcons meet in Atlanta at 12 o'clock next Sunday. If the Falcons lose that game, Pops, to the Carolina Panthers, who will be looking to get back on the right side, the Panthers are coming to the Saints game in the Superdome the following week at 3-7. If the Saints beat the Falcons, which I'm hoping that they will, that will then flip-flop the Saints and the Falcons, and they will be headed down. Headed down. So it's a wild course of events that can occur. But yeah, the Panthers are in dire straits. They're really yelling to fire Raheem Morris. The family base is rabid and talking about firing Raheem Morris and getting him on up out of there. So we just hired our coach. They talk about firing their coach. I don't know what Count Blankula will do as far as that's concerned, but I doubt they get rid of him right now in the midst of it. They're still 3-6, real kind of competing for an opportunity there. So, but I'll tell you, Pops, with all the things that they got, the quarterbacks they got, all of the stuff they should be a lot further along than what they were. But this definitely puts Fontenot on Front Street big time, Pops. Ain't no doubt about it. And in terms of the turnovers, the Saints did have a fumble loss.
Okay. Yeah, I thought there was at least one that they had lost, but
they had a fumble,
I don't think it really, and it didn't hurt them because they was able to stop Carolina. But Atlanta is a totally different. As a matter of fact, son, did Carolina beat Atlanta?
I could look it up and see. I don't remember if they beat them or even if they played them.
That they played them earlier in the season.
Carolina blanked them 30-0 in week number 3.
Wow.
Yeah, they beat them 30-0 in Atlanta and the Carolina. So they'll play them for the final time next week at 12 o'clock, and that'll probably be our scout game, which we'll watch next Sunday for the fam. Man, we'll probably be in there on Sunday at 12, filling our regular slot watching and scouting the Falcons game for our potential match for the matchup the following week. Right.
That's gonna be a good game. I'll tell you what, Atlanta's gonna come in with the snorting like a bunch of bulls because they got beat in overtime by the Colts. But the Colts it's an excellent, good team, a good running team. That little runner Taylor, that guy would wear Atlanta out. Atlanta couldn't stop him. I don't know if we got anybody that could run against him like that, but we don't know yet until we actually suit up and play him.
Right. Yeah, I think it's just going to be interesting, Pops, please, because, man, listen, we getting interesting as we get deep in the season. Yeah, but that young Jonathan Taylor had some issues and injuries, Pops, but that guy is a hell of a running back for the Colts. And the Colts really has done a really slick job of getting their team back to being competitive, to be honest with you, Pops, because, man, they were able to – they got David Jones, the former Giant quarterback, and he was hurt and banged up, but he gets to Indianapolis and works in their system. He's totally different. So it's just seeing the positive gain in him, and they get healthy at the right time, and the Colts are just just knocking it out of the park right now, man. You got to give them all the credit. I think they got 8 wins on the season right now. I don't think a lot of people didn't see that, Pop.
No,
I didn't see that.
No, they didn't expect it. They thought they'd be struggling. But whatever the formula is that they hit upon, seems like it's giving them a lot of success because they that 8-win season, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good record for them, and it's been since this year, with a lot of success.
Yeah, that's excellent, Pop. Seeing how they turned it around, man, gives us hope. To be honest with you,
yes.
But indeed, Pops. But look, let's kind of look at the bye week for the Saints coming up on rest, getting the rest and all this kind of stuff. We got some guys that's banged up. We know Tyler's banged up, a bunch of injuries. So going into the bye week, resting up, players getting rest. What does Kellen Moore need to do with the extra time, Pops? What would you be your suggestion to Kellen Moore in the bye week in terms of what he needs to do? Of course, he'll take his rest, but as the brains of the outfit, what would your suggestion be with him as we go into the next leg of the season after the bye?
Execution of the plays on the offensive line, especially on offense. The defense, you need to also just fine tune the defense. I think they played an outstanding game, but you got to continue. You can't just have one up game and one down game. So Kellen's got to get his offensive line to playing real good like they did today. He's got to get his quarterback. That's his quarterback, to get his quarterback to continue to play and to make sure his quarterback knows the reads and who to go to when the pressure is on. And I think the Falcons defense is not that good where they should be able to find holes in that defense to run Kamara, or if we have what is his name, the other big running back, if we have him back, Kendra Miller. If we have Kendra Miller back, Kendra Miller and Bijan Robinson, two physical runners. If we can stop Bijan and then have Kendra Miller if he comes back, he can open holes. He can run. He's a big, solid runner. And he's a bull runner. So he'll run through you like if you're not there, he'll run over you. So we need to have him back or Alvin and have them to get open. And the offensive line got to open holes. So that the team can run. If you can't run, you can't pass the football. So you got to run. You're going to have to get that offensive line tightened up even more than what it is. And I think they did good today, but they got a tough thing coming up for them, especially if Atlanta loses to Carolina next week. It's going to be a rough game in a dome. But they're going to come back and they're going to be mad because they lost. I can see it. See what I'm saying? They're going to come back mad. Smoke coming out their nose and out the side of their helmets and everything else.
And everything else, Paul said. Yeah. It's we gonna kind of rest up and go from there. But yeah, it's been a kind of rough season, but it's good to go into the bye week with a win over a divisional opponent. That definitely helps. And a double-digit win nonetheless, Pops. Not one some that you just barely eked out. You actually had a double-digit win against a plus 500 opponent that happens to be a divisional rival. So that's all positives. And could it possibly lead for kind of a turning of the corner for the Saints? Time will tell, man. As we move forward. So it's a lot of season still left, but the Saints take a breather. We'll take a breather. Like I said, we'll continue next week. We'll probably we'll be scouting the Falcons with the Panthers game next week. Yeah. Brent says, like you said, Q, keep Taysom and Kamara on the field as running backs. Keep Shough as a QB. Get Gregory. He says, get Gregory to tell Donkey.
The problem is you trying to talk with your shit and you don't know nothing instead of listening. Huh?
I'm listening.
Okay? No. I get $40,000, man, and I dare motherfucker to stop.
Thank you very much. Picking me up, bringing me back to this world.
Aha.
Shout out to you, Brett. Thank you, man. Appreciate you there. Mr. Tifus, as he's affectionately known as, man. So, but yeah, thank y'all, man. But listen, shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all for another game, another live stream, man. Please feel free, if you haven't checked your subscribe button, man, hit the subscribe button. Make sure it's lit up, a notification bell for future content as well. Also, fam, like I said, man, this is a good win for the Saints. It's the second win. We haven't really felt a victory, double-digit win like this. Competitive football, all very positives. I just got to say, man, this is all very positive. Good to see it. And we hope we get more of these type of wins, man. But like I said, this is a long season. It's still a developmental team. Tyler Shough did some positive stuff, getting that record in terms of 280 yards, breaking the franchise record, getting the first time a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback won, a game for the Saints. All this kind of stuff was just stuff that I didn't even recognize. I didn't even know exist. The guy was able to do it. So all of that is very positive. And Shough, man, standing tall in the pocket, he got a lot to learn, but he put on a display tonight. Shout out to Chris Olave. Shout out to Jawan Johnson. He stepped up and played. Shout out to Alvin Kamara. Shout out to the Saints offensive line. He got up off the snot with several backups in there, and they were able to have a respectable running attack to take the pressure off of Tyler Shough. Shout out to the Saints defense. We've been highly critical of them, and justifiably so. But in this particular game, they stepped up and showed out. They stopped the running attack of Rico Dowdell. He stopped them. They were able to get turnovers off him. They were able to sack Bryce Young, and they were able to defeat the team in whole and beat them by double digits. And Saints get their second win. So this is all very positive. And listen, man, very good. Yes. All right. Anyway, shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, it does, bro. Shout out to Scoops, great show streak. Oh, yeah, always funny with our family. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate your school, Barbara, OG, Jared, Roll, Charles, Mont Dog. Big ups to all y'all out there, man. The Queens and Kings. Shout out to Deborah for Triple D Pilots. Much love to us. She got a birthday coming up. Shout out to the Queen. But big ups to the rest of y'all, man. Listen, we're gonna get at y'all on another on the Monday broadcast. So the Saints Monday after. It's a victorious Monday after, bro. We'll be back on that day. So shout out to you, Pop. Big ups to you and the rest of the fam, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all on Monday. Much love, peace, and with that to you.
Like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Fucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, money like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. We do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with the WhoDatDaily.com, your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit the WhoDatDaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation. Stay in the NO, you stay in the know.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.